So for those of you that don't know already, the overarching goal of our charity is to deliver social impact through digital skills access and education. And iDEA is currently helping more than 1 million learners of all ages to develop digital and enterprise skills, discover new talents, and gain digital confidence for free. So we're still a relatively new organisation, but I'm going to start with sharing a little bit of history ahead of covering some of the highlights. So we launched the iDEA platform and the iDEA Bronze Award in 2017. But before this, during iDEA's first year, 2 education specialists were seconded onto the project. One of them was a university professor and the other a secondary school teacher. And they conducted a really extensive gap analysis, interviewing many large and small employers, skills providers, and of course, educational establishments. And it became clear that a new mechanism was needed to help build coherence in the digital skills learning landscape, and a broad range of partners would need to be involved to bring a collection of resources together that would benefit a large number of learners. So the solution also had to be scalable and sustainable. And the iDEA platform itself is designed to remove as many barriers to learning as possible. So there are learners all over the world that are currently accessing iDEA with varying types of devices that span kind of many generations. So we've worked hard, and we are working hard to ensure that our platform stays inclusive and compatible to all, so that anyone can access and complete iDEA badges free of charge on almost any computer, tablet, or mobile, so long as they've got connectivity. iDEA learners work through bite-sized interactive modules on our website, which is idea.org.uk, and they're rewarded with digital badges and points which are collected and count towards achieving the bronze, silver, or the gold Inspiring Digital Enterprise Award. So there are modules on iDEA which can help you to be safe online, identify fake news, learn about video editing, animation, cybersecurity, and to help you understand some really complex topics too, like automation and blockchain and AI. To date, iDEA learners around the world have achieved almost 10 million digital badges, and more than 100,000 awards have been won. So it's really exciting to be here talking to you today, because there are already around, we think, 50,000 iDEA learners in Scotland that we know about, and we'd love to see many more benefit from our programme and awards. So yeah, I really hope this session will be inspiring, and it will give you all the information that you need to get yourselves and your students started, if you're not already. One of the main things that makes our platform unique as well is that iDEA badges are created with industry experts and some exciting, innovative employers. And it's our independence and our charitable status that really allows us, enables us to work with a broad range of partners that sometimes might even usually be competitors. So this enables iDEA learners to get to engage directly with the skills that the employers need. And so you can see, I think, a few examples of the badges on the slides, but there are more than 80 currently available on iDEA for free. So this approach is also helping to raise learner aspiration, because it's making these companies and sectors often feel more approachable and within reach. So I think quite a large part actually of what people gain from doing our badges is a broader awareness of the digital world and the sorts of opportunities and possibilities that it brings with it. iDEA is becoming more widely recognised by employers too, which is even better for our learners. So many are now using iDEA to help upskill their own workforces, and some, including UK Fast, have embedded iDEA into their apprenticeships programmes too. We have a nice video that Aaron Saxton from UK Fast recorded to explain how it's helping them. So hopefully it plays okay for you now.
I love tech, I love digital, and using online technology is incredible. But the thing I love most about iDEA is how it's encapsulated and brought together great online technology to provide a phenomenal learning platform. It's got all the engagement, interactivity, assessments, quizzes, and challenges alongside that. So as a young learner is logged on there, not only can they see their progress, develop, but it gives them a badge. It tells them, well done, pat on the back, you've achieved. And then they can work their way up the scale, achieve bronze, silver, and gold. And that gives them great sense of achievement, but most importantly, in a business like UK Fast, we can look at that, use that and say, well done, you deserve a role in the business like UK Fast.
Okay, so hopefully Aaron, I think, says it really well. He just gets it. So as an employer, they can use iDEA to train people, but then they can also spot who has the skills that they need. So it goes back to people are adding their achievements with iDEA to their CVs and also their UCAS applications and other applications to help them stand out from the crowd. And so to support this, we created a live record of achievement, which updates automatically as you earn more badges. So you can find yours in the achievements page. Here is one of mine, and you can see the date that I achieved my badges just along the right-hand side, and then in the middle you'll see the skills tags that are associated with them. So it's like a transcript of everything a learner has achieved on iDEA, and it's available at any point in their journey. And then iDEA award winners can also download their certificates instantly online for free. So we've tried to design as much as possible to be intuitive and self-service on iDEA, both for learners and for educators, so that we can really support a huge growing community of learners and educators. And one of the key developments that we prioritised and have been iterating over the last couple of years has really been centred on making it easier for educators and facilitators to run the programme with their cohorts of learners. And so Andy's going to take you through our management portal shortly. So please feel free to follow along with him if you want to get set up now. If not, it's fine. I think we'll share a copy of the slides anyway, so you can always come back to it later on. But first, I think he's going to show you a little bit more about the platform.
Thank you, Polly. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Andy Jones, and I'm the learning designer at iDEA. Just to give you a little information about me, I spent just under 18 years in education up until late last year. I started as a trainee teacher in 2004 and qualified as a teacher of mathematics and ICT, and gradually scaled up from head of ICT and computer science department to senior leadership, into deputy headship, and then I was a head teacher by 2016. One of my final posts was as an academy director responsible for the improvement of standards that catered for over 900 learners. Throughout my time in education, I found iDEA to be an exceptional resource engaging learners around aspects of computing, digital literacy, and the wider world. And so that's why I'm so excited to be working with iDEA and speaking with you here today. So, as Polly said, the first step, if you haven't already done so, is to create an iDEA account for yourself. Once logged in, you will be presented with a tutorial that describes the Bronze Award journey, iDEA categories, and the points system. In the Bronze Award, iDEA learners are incentivised to become digital all-rounders. To achieve the Bronze Award, learners need to collect 50 points from each category, but they are also given the opportunity and space to take their learning deeper into areas of interest. 250 points are required in total in the Bronze Award. In the Silver Award, only the Citizen category is mandatory, and the fifth category is introduced called Gamer. Total progress and points are shown in the progress bar, and you can see the category breakdown below. You can find out more about each badge by clicking on them. Each badge has a selection of tags in the form of keyword information that are skills linked to the badge. The points for each badge help learners understand the complexity and the length of the badges. Learners can begin to gauge this through their experiences they build whilst completing more and more different point badges. Each badge allows learners to begin by clicking the Start Badge button. Badges are short enough to be completed within one sitting and often projected to take no longer than an average school lesson. At any time should a learner need to leave the badge, it will remember where they were up to and upon their return resume from their last checkpoint. Learners can also do the same badge as many times as they wish by clicking the Redo Badge button. iDEA badges are designed to be fun and educational and have been described as learning by stealth. The context and interactivity is also carefully planned to maximise engagement and success. Topics, even ones that may seem large and complicated, are broken down into simplified, manageable bites, designed in a way that optimises the time span of our learners' attention. Knowledge and understanding is checked at the end of each section. Assessment is built in and continuous. Each badge adopts a test to progress design, meaning there is no marking required by yourselves as teachers. When learners finish the module, they automatically claim the badge and the points earned. Each badge provides an interactive experience that uses a combination of text, images, animation, audio, video, and activities designed to cater to a wide range of learning styles. There are over 80 badges currently available, and they are currently being mapped against 500 individual criterions consisting of specification elements from the UK National Curriculum, from Key Stage 3 level up to GCSE, Level 2, Level 3 BTEC awards, and A-level specification. The breadth of content within iDEA badges includes links to the following subject areas: computer science, ICT, digital literacy, mathematics, English, science, art and design, design and technology, citizenship, STEM, and engineering, whilst also including links to the following vocational and pastoral areas: the Essential Digital Skills Framework, Gatsby benchmarks, the 21st Century Skills, the Creative Skills Universal Framework, and the Skills Builder Universal Framework. The team are currently working hard to produce the first batch of gold level badges, which should be available in the coming months. The Gold Award will reflect the bronze learner's experience in terms of choice and projected learner voyage. It will allow the learner to tailor their journey based on the subjects that interest them the most. The Gold Award will build upon some of the badges previously seen in bronze and silver, whilst also including a set of completely new badges based on new and emerging technologies. The Gold Award will be scaled up in terms of depth, skill set and complexity, whilst retaining the ability to complete the badge within a standard lesson. So now I'm going to describe to you the process of how you can register your organisation. To register your organisation on iDEA, just simply scroll to the bottom of the web page and click on the link in the bottom left of the screen called Organisers. It will take you to our Create an Organisation portal. Initially, you'll be presented with the Create Organisation page, where you will need to input your organisation name and then select the organisation type that best represents your setting. For many of us here today, that will be a school. There are already over 7,000 organisations using this system to manage group learning, whether it is in a school, a college, a university, a community group, a charity, a library, or even within a large corporation. Once you've done this, you will have access to the iDEA Organiser portal, where the dashboard acts as an organiser homepage and allows you easy access to seeing how the total amount of learner usage increase over time, in terms of learners being signed up, team members, groups, badges completed, awards broken down by achievement, but we'll discuss this in detail shortly. Next, you will need to set your groups. This will allow you to manage learner accounts and track the progress of learners within your organisation. You can create one group or many. It's up to you as to what you think best suits your needs. To create a group, you simply select the Organiser Groups tab, which is the third option down in the left navigation pane, and click New Group. From here, you can insert a group name, and then you will need to create a code that will be used by your learners to join your group later on. The code may only contain letters, numbers, dashes, underscores, so there are no spaces. Once both the group name and the code are complete, you simply click Save. My personal experience from when I was in education and using iDEA as an organiser, I found the dashboard to be a completely positive and organic learning experience. And I know this is to be felt by several people here today who are currently using iDEA within their organisation. So, once saved and your group is created, you'll be guided to your group page, where you will be shown your group name, its code, and how many learners are currently in the group, which will be 0 at this point in time and a timestamp to say when the group was physically created. There are 3 ways that learners can be added to your group. The first being to share the setup link for your group directly with the learners that you'd like to join. This could be done via email. This works for people who are new to iDEA and also for existing learners, so it doesn't matter if you have to set up their own accounts or not. The second way, registered learners can also join the group at any time by entering the group code into the Organiser Group Code submission box in their profile and clicking the Add button. Finally, the third mode to join for learners who are not yet registered on iDEA, you can import a CSV file to create their accounts, which will automatically be linked to your group. You can create up to 200 unregistered iDEA learners at any one time. Simply download the template from iDEA that you will need to populate with sign-up information by clicking on the bold CSV template file link in the first sentence of the page description. Each learner will need a nickname, being their username, an email address, their date of birth and password. We recommend that you always create individual passwords for each of your learners' iDEA accounts when batch processing. Once complete, just save the file as a CSV and upload it to iDEA by clicking the Choose File button and then Import. You can also invite team members to join your organisation on iDEA. Only existing registered iDEA users can be made team members. To invite someone, you will need to insert their email address that they already use to access iDEA via the Team Members page, which is the fourth link down the left-hand navigation pane. iDEA will then email them an invitation to join your team. Your team members can set up their own organizer codes and groups within the organization. They can create their own groups and group codes and invite other team members to join the organization. They can also access all learner analytics relating to your organization via the portal. Now let's look at what I found to be the most useful page on the organizer portal when I was in education, the learners page. By clicking the learners page, which is the second link down in the left-hand pane, you will see all learners as overviews with their nickname, email account, date they joined, and date they last logged on. From here, you can click View and look at learners' individual profiles, which will show their sign-up information, as well as their individual progress for each separate section of the awards across the citizen, worker, maker, entrepreneur, and gamer areas. From here, you can also download a copy of their record of achievement as evidence for books and any certificates they have achieved, which can be used during whole school assembly times as a celebration and recognition of achievement. It is within this section that you can also click Edit to add or change their details if your learners need some help. Sometimes, when self-registering, a learner might make a mistake or a typo in their email address. So if you spot one, please feel free to update it for them. A point to remember here is that your learners are required to add the correct forename and surname within their profile page prior to claiming any certificates. Once the name is changed and the certificate is produced, it cannot be changed, so please ensure that you or your learners enter their names correctly on their profile. You will also be able to help a learner reset their password should they get stuck. I personally found that this feature became not only the most used, but also became a point of principle within my own practice, in that you can praise learners for remembering their own password whilst holding them to account if they fail. Finally, you can sort your learners by nickname, email, the date they joined, or the date they were last seen, which is the date they were last logged on. By clicking the dashboard link, which is the first link in the left-hand navigation pane, you will see that over time the data for each of the totals will increase and become a weekly or termly point of celebration within your organisation. I use this every week in my rewards assemblies and found that learners love to see how their individual contribution converted to a whole school achievement, especially in terms of total awards and total badges. We also have an analytics section. By clicking the fifth link in the left-hand navigation pane, you'll be able to download a spreadsheet that shows each learner's total points per award and section and a list of badges they've completed, which is great for tracking and providing data for teaching and learning meetings, book looks, progress and work scrutiny evidence. iDEA's existing free management portal is great for many smaller organisations and schools, but it's clear that some need additional features and would like more insights and control. iDEA Foundation needs continued financial support to keep learning on idea.org.uk free for everyone forever. There is also a paid-for management system in the works that will do everything the free portal does and more. So if you think you need more, please feel free to keep an eye out for that coming soon. Finally, if you need any help, we have an instant answers facility and a separate frequently asked questions section. Should you not manage to find what you're looking for, we also have a contact us page where you can reach our team. So now I would like to hand you over to Mr. Poyet, who's going to give us his insights and experiences whilst using iDEA in this setting.
Yeah. So just to recap, yes, I'm Gavin Pye. I'm the Principal Teacher of Computing Science at Grove Academy in Dundee. I've been teaching since 2004 as well. I've been the PT at Grove since about 2014. Via iDEA, then I've been using the iDEA programme both personally for CLPL and with pupils since its launch, but really 2018 is when we kind of took it on, mostly in the school. Always find that iDEA has been well written. It's really engaging and it's very, very worthwhile because pupils can get that certificate at the end. Currently available at the bronze or silver level. It's a great place for learning for anyone that's interested in doing that. Achieving your bronze award, as has already been said, the iDEA award is built up of a collection of modules referred to as badges. Because there's such a range of badges, we've actually found that this has now become an integral part of our actual curriculum in the school. First in 2018, we just started off by sort of having a go as a wee lunchtime club using it, but we found that pupils engaged with it and really enjoyed actually completing it and wanted to learn more. the same sort of happened for myself. The more I got into the badges, the more I realised just how good they actually were and how relevant they are to everything. And as well, as Polly's already mentioned, they range from fake news, going through coloured video editing, automation, right the way up to stuff like blockchain and bits of coding as well. There's even one in there about automated farm technology, which is something that before doing iDEA I knew nothing about. But when you see the badge and see how well it's been made and how nicely it talks the people through how everything actually works, then it now becomes a sort of integrated part of our course for doing that. All the badges, then, well written, produced a very high standard as well. The content on them all is very informative and very, very easy to follow. We find no matter what age of people we put onto it, from primary school right the way up to 6th year, and even myself as an adult, other teachers, it's easy to actually get into. Unlike other programs that are out there on other platforms, it's not been made sort of too cartoony. So it's not trying to appeal to a primary school by making everything very sort of gamified, which sort of loses your older learners. But in the same way, it hasn't gone too text-based. And so they've got the balance just right between kind of the nice cartoon approach to looking at the content to draw everyone in and making them want to learn, and the actual learning that's in there to keep the pupils engaged and make them want to keep coming back. As you progress through the badges, they're presented fairly. There's hints available for pupils that need them. If you get a question wrong, there's opportunities to try again. So it works across the board for all pupils in that respect. At the same time, the badges have been constructed in a way that you can't just do a next finished sort of click through it. And we find that great for the iDEA award. There's other programs we've used in the past that pupils are saying we're finished after about 2 minutes and they've not really learned anything. With iDEA, they've got a sort of a life system built into a lot of them, which actually limits the number of errors or random guesses pupils could actually make before it returns to the beginning of each badge. And there is built-in assessment checks as the pupils go through, so even if they are trying to skip through it, I'll ask them a question that if they haven't read the answer, they need to go back to do it. Again, the good thing about the fairness and the way that iDEA is being written, if they do get to that point and think, oh no, I don't know that answer, there's a button that says recap the section, and it actually takes them back and allows them to recap that bit without having to quit and restart the whole badge. Delivery of iDEA, then sort of leading on from what's been said earlier, how you actually go about delivering in class is completely flexible. Unlike a lot of programs, you're not signing up to a sort of set of lessons that you have to do lesson 1, then lesson 2, then lesson 3 and work your way through it. It can be pupil-led, and you'll find that you will have some pupils when you do this that very much will lead their own learning. Again, kind of a compliment for the iDEA and the way it's written is it's surprising the pupils who will actually lead their own learning for it. Over the years from doing it in Grove, we constantly have pupils who sometimes haven't been engaged in learning and definitely wouldn't do homework, who when we start doing the iDEA award will come back the next day and say, look at the badges I've done. And their points have jumped up because they've been engaged and they've actually wanted to go home and actually do more. So they can progress at their own pace. But however, you can also turn it into a series of taught units as well. So in Grove, we kind of have both approaches in place. We will pick some badges that are relevant. Last year it was things like blockchain because the people were all asking about it, and fake news because Donald Trump wouldn't stop talking about it, and we thought that's a good way of explaining more to the pupils. So we would pick those badges to get them started. Each lesson in class, it would be, let's start with this badge, and we would kind of work through it as a class, and then after that they had their free choice to go and do more to try and get it. Definitely recommend trying the badges yourself as well. Unlike a lot of sort of things that are designed for the kids, this works for adults too. All the student teachers that I get and the university course that I deliver for the teachers as well, I encourage them to go on, and they've kind of echoed my sort of sentiments for it as well, that as a piece of CLPL, there's great badges in there. The ones that stand out for me is things like the farm tech, and that was stuff I didn't even know really existed until I did that badge. Blockchain as well was something I knew the pupils were going to start asking me about, and I needed a nice way to understand it in a simple enough term that I could then teach it. And we found that badge does that perfectly. So much so that that's why it is an integrated part of our curriculum in Grove. Because once I've done the badge and thought, right, I now know how to teach that to the people, I'm thinking, right, what presentation shall I make? What sway shall I do? Shall I make a worksheet? And the answer is no. The badge is already there, and the badge is already so good that if it taught me blockchain, why not just use it to teach the pupils as well? So what we actually have is normally about timetable change. First years do the bronze award, timetable change from first to second year, they get a chance to finish the bronze award and begin the silver if they're ready. And then for third years that have just picked competing science, then we have that little time in June from when the timetable changes, but it's still before the summer holidays. We actually concentrate on the iDEA award for that. And unlike what we hear from other subjects, because the pupils like the iDEA award, they're engaged in actually learning in our class. So they're doing the badges, they're continuing on to get it, and most of our third years get their silver certificate by the end of the school year before they actually go into third year properly in August. Organiser codes, as have already been said, are great. For that, one bit that I would add about that is a downloadable spreadsheet that you get, which was touched upon. It's basically a ready-made record book. So no matter whether you're a primary school teacher, secondary school teacher, whatever, unlike certain platforms that you put pupils onto, you don't then have to write down on a bit of paper, oh, today we did 2 hours of blah, 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 and the pupils have learned this. We just press download, and there's your record book done. It shows when the pupils logged on, shows you the badges they did, shows you the points they've got, and that's it, ready for your records to present. One other bit we do use the spreadsheet for as well is you could order the pupils by the number of points they've got. So we use that to target pupils that are sitting at about the 200 points. So you give them the positive praise of, you're so close to getting your badge, why don't you have a try at this badge, or why don't you have a try doing this to try and get it? And we find those pupils will go home and come back the next day and go, I've done it, because they wanted to get it. How easy is it? Is one of the questions that people ask me, because as teachers we don't want anything that's going to be complicated for ourselves. The answer is, it's not easy, but that's a good thing. It's not a next finish course, so it is something that I would say you might want to have a go at yourself first, just so you know exactly the type of questions that pupils may ask you as a result. You will learn something as you go through it as well. When you embark onto it, if you're wanting to pick out a couple of badges to do with the class, that works, but please be aware that the pupils will love it. They'll take straight to it, and they'll want to go home and do more, so they'll come in and asking, when can we go on to it next as well. One example I always like to share is Rose, my daughter. My certificate came through the post when I did the bronze one. She liked the look of it and said, can I have a go? So to humour her, because she was only 9, I was like, yeah, okay, log on, have a go. She did a few badges, got bored, wandered off, but the next week she came back and went, see that badgie thing, can I do another one? So over a time of about 3 months, up the weekend, she would do a couple of badges at a time, and when she got bored, she would wander off, and she ended up passing that. What's now happened is she's in a competition with my higher people, who tries to see how many badges they could get done and who could get the silver one first. Rose is very happy that she won. She was 10 when she managed to get her silver award, before the people in higher actually managed to get theirs. Rose has now gone on to become what's known as a silver star, because she completed every badge that was there, and she's got her bronze star award as well for doing more bronze badges. So again, unlike other programs, iDEA is the only thing I've ever used in school that when a pupil has met the minimum requirements to get their certificate, they actually off their own back go back and do other badges, because they want to know, well, what does it tell me about that for the bronze one? And which is why it's really nice to hear that gold, when it gets launched, is going back to the same sort of pattern that you have that independent learning. Because hopefully once the minimum's reached, the pupils will keep going back to say, well, what else can I learn from that? So in conclusion, give it a go, definitely. Even if you're sitting thinking, oh, I don't know if my class would like it, try it yourself, you will learn something too. Enhances skills and knowledge, improves digital literacy greatly. There's tips and techniques about staying safe online in there. There'll be talents that you didn't even know you had. The programming stuff is so well written. We now have people coming to competing in 4th year going, programming is not as difficult as I thought it would be, because they did it on iDEA. And you'll get more confident with technology. Once you get enough points, you get the industry recognised reward, which is great for the pupils. It's also great for our own PRD, but I could go to my PRD meeting and go, I got a silver certificate because I've done all these training courses that I can now use to teach my classes as well. So yeah, iDEA is definitely one of the best programs I've ever used as part of a teaching in my career. Okay, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Gavin. I just love hearing you talk about iDEA, and it's really great to hear your success stories. And yeah, we're so proud of Rose achieving the Silver Star too. It's brilliant. If anyone else has any success stories also that they'd like to share, we have recently added a little bit of a blog to the site, and I'm wanting to build up to sharing more regular newsletters and things like that. So please do let us know if you've got any wonderful stories that you might like to be a part of it. I think there is now a link. If it's not there today, it will be there probably by Monday, in the organiser portal that says share a story. And so there's a little space there to just write to us if there's anything that you want to share. And yeah, and Gavin, I totally agree about teachers doing badges too. It's always really, really good to see. I think Miss Mutter on here, not to put her on the spot, but I think she has the bronze award too. So yeah, I've got a couple more bits to cover before we finish talking and move to questions, if that's all right. So I'd love to show a quick video that we recently created to help some of our learners and with the help of some of our learners and organisers who volunteered to take part and share what they like about iDEA. Okay, thank you.
iDEA is one of the best websites I've ever used for interactive learning.
It lets me have access to free education about useful things.
I looked at it and it looked really interesting, so I tried it out for myself and I got hooked.
The way iDEA is organised into small bite-sized sections is great. Instead of plain old textbooks with boring question and answers, it teaches us in an interactive way.
I can use iDEA on campus and at home, which makes it very convenient for me.
It is very flexible and you can take it anywhere with you on any device.
The thing I love most about the iDEA Award is the sheer diversity of topics that are covered.
It teaches a wide variety of subjects and there's something for everyone.
I began discovering skills that I honestly never knew I had, and things that I was capable of that I just, discovered yet.
iDEA introduced my love of computer science. Without it, I may not have even considered computer science.
It's had the impact on me because it's made me understand business law.
I also set up my own business using the skills I learned from iDEA. iDEA has encouraged me to get into computing when I'm older.
There is no such barriers, like there is no such nationality barriers or age barriers.
It's a really good thing which they can add to their portfolio.
Something else to put on their CV, which prepares them for the world of work.
It really motivates me to become what I want to be when I grow up. Thank you, iDEA.
The iDEA Award is a fantastic initiative.
iDEA is amazing, enjoyable, and creative. Interactive, educational, and most importantly, fun.
iDEA is innovative, challenging, and fun.
I would recommend it to one of my friends or one of you because it is an extremely fun way to learn.
It's an incredible, exciting platform.
I would definitely recommend other people to try it, definitely, 100%.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's great. Okay, thanks, Andy. Gavin also mentioned professional development in terms of teachers doing their own badges, and so we thought it would only be right that we reward your participation today with a digital badge. So if you're not already signed in at this point, now's the time. Sign in or sign up, and then there is a button that says redeem, which is sort of in the top bar here. If you press that button, you'll see a space to enter a badge code. If you hit that and enter redeem, you should be awarded with maybe your first badge, or maybe, I can see Miss Mutter says she's working on her silver, so maybe more, even more badges. And then, yeah, I'll leave this on the screen for a little bit, but we also have some links to additional free resources, some more videos about iDEA. There's some posters that you can download, and you can edit them, so you can add your group codes to them if you would like to. And there's a booklet listing all of the badges that are currently available on iDEA. So I think what I'll do is when we share the slides, we'll put the links in there, but I'll also add the links to the chat in a moment. And that's all from me and Andy. So if anyone's got any questions, I guess great to go back to them now. I saw some in the chat and I tried to answer what was there, some of them, but yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Andy and Gavin.